My name is Lajuan Davis, and I'll be fighting August 12th on the UFL middleweight semifinals.
Just to check in as well, because obviously in Memphis you were set to fight. You made the weight, which is admirable and the hardest part of the game without a doubt. But how frustrating was it not to fight on that card?
You know, I never try to get too frustrated about things like that. To me, it's God's will be done, and so I just kind of go with it, man. And it's just to happen how things happened, and so I wasn't too frustrated about it, but I just knew that the training wouldn't go to waste, and that I'll be able to apply it in this next matchup.
This next matchup, we already know what it is. You got to actually do a stare down after Ryan won his fight. Ryan Loader won his.
Yes.
What excites you about this matchup? What gets you motivated about fighting Ryan Loader?
What excites me about this is I've been preparing my whole career to fight high level wrestlers. I see them going into the mixed martial arts scene, and for me, it's my time to finally be able to test myself against a high level wrestler, and show that I have the skills to deal with the skill set that he's going to bring, and impose my game on his. And so that's the most thing that's got me excited about this matchup, is that I do get the opportunity to test those skills.
And we definitely know what he's going to do. That's the thing with Ryan, right? We know what his background, his base is. We know where he's got all these accolades already. See, and we saw it in his last fight against Leon.
Yes.
You know exactly what he's going to do. So has that made preparing for this camp, I won't say easy as far as physically, but like game plan wise, you know what you've got to work on. It must have made it horrible as well, just to constantly be defending and working on those mats against wrestlers. But does it kind of, if you know what you're expecting, is it now all on you to be prepared to deal with that?
Absolutely. And like I said, I've been preparing for this, my whole career. And especially when I moved out here to Jackson Wink, that has been a main part of my training is wrestling and grappling, and not just defense, but also offense. And so, when I go in there, that's the mindset I'm going in with, is an attack mindset, and not just to defend and survive, wrestling shots. It's like, no, I'm going to look to attack him, whatever the position is. And just being able to see his fights and study him, I know what his game plan is, and we did our best to prepare for that. And so we're sharpening things up as the camp concludes, and we're going to be ready to put on a great show.
Because you didn't get to fight in the last one, does it feel like you've got 2 times the energy or the motivation to put on a performance for this one? Because it must be so frustrating to do all the preparation, get yourself ready for war mentally and physically, and then have no release, right?
Yeah. So that was a challenge in the sense of not having any release. It's kind of like that whole build up and then nothing of it, so it kind of just fizzles out, I guess. And so that was a bit of a challenge, but I just did the work to recalibrate my focus and focusing on this new guy. Plus I fought like a month before that, and so it wasn't too disappointing, I guess, because I was able to get a fight in a month before that, so I'm not coming off a year rest or anything like that. And so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling motivated for this fight, and I'm feeling sharp in my mind.
This is the semi-finals, which we also know the other side of the bracket, which is going to be Ty Guerda versus Shane Subnowski. Have you had a look at those guys? I know you got to see Shane fight in Memphis, but have you even pictured, that fight and who potentially you think might take it, or who you would prefer to face in the finals in December?
Man, it's kind of crazy, because I did see their first fight, with each other, where Ty had him rocked, and then Shane came back and rocked him, and then that was it. And so it's like, it's a crazy thing. And then watching Shane's last fight, it's like he has such a weird style. It's not very like technically correct, but the way he has it down, or just the way he performs, man, he's got it figured out with this style and his technique. And so, honestly, I thought Tyler was going to win that fight. And so it was crazy to see, Shane, weather that early, storm and just freaking come back, man, and wear down with him. Essentially is his toughness, man. His toughness is like, he doesn't go away. You crack him with whatever, he keeps walking forward. He's hard to take down and control on the ground. So it was nice. It was cool to see that. And so man, I really have no idea who's going to win between Ty, and Shane, because it's like, you would think you're looking at, the technique and, uh, yeah, just the accomplishments. You would think Ty, has the upper hand, but I thought the same thing with Tyler, and, Shane proved us all wrong. And so, we'll see, man. I've visualized both. I've visualized, having to face Ty in there, but I've also visualized having to face Shane in there. And yeah, I think either matchup would be a good one for me, and yeah, we'll see, man.
We're talking about that fight because this semi-final, getting a victory here, will lead you to the finals, which will be December 16th for the
Hmm.
inaugural, the first ever middleweight UFL championship belt. It's a piece of history, right? If you were to
Yes.
be able to claim that, what would it mean to you personally to claim the UFL belt? The first,
Sorry,
the
I haven't
first,
been
the
real.
first UFL
Yeah,
belt.
yeah, I haven't been repeating these questions, but what would it mean to claim the first UFL belt? To me, it would be a big deal because I love what this promotion stands for. I love that they're taking care of the fighters. They're holding all the other organizations out there to a higher standard when it comes to their athletes, and the fact that we're insured, um, the fact that no matter what, there's a flat rate pay, so fighters can just go out there and focus on performing, and there's not that added stressor of, oh man, if I have an off night or a close performance, a split decision loss, that half of the purse is gone. And so to me, it would mean a lot to become UFL champion, because it would be um, standing for an organization that actually cares about their fighters and their athletes. And to me, that's a beautiful thing. And I believe that UFL will be successful because of that, and they will continue to grow. And I would love to be a part of that, and to see them do well in the future.
You talked a lot about that, the differences between UFL and other promotions. You, even though you didn't fight, you got the shares, right? So you've received
Yes.
shares in the
Hmm.
company. What was that like as a moment to, as an athlete? Because it's a very strange path, this one, especially mixed martial arts. You
Yes.
invest in yourself, and it's all about sacrifice. But to see a
Hmm.
company come back and give you a piece of the pie, as it were, what did that mean to you personally, and even as an athlete? What does that mean to have a share in this company's future?
Um, it feels like someone has my back. It feels like I'm not just going in this career alone. It feels like the company that I fight for, that I work for, actually cares about me, and not just looking to make a buck off of our hard work and sacrifice, but also allow us to be partners with them. And to me, yeah, that's a great feeling, because you do feel like more of a partner, and less of just a circus animal, essentially. Because man, we put a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of discipline, there's a lot of mental work all around, that goes into this sport. And the fans, they come to see the show, but they miss a lot of um, what happens behind the scenes, and the struggles, and the adversity that we have to overcome. And so to have a company, um, want us to be a part of them, with shares, and with taking care of us, health insurance, all these things. It's like, it feels really good, and it helps me feel even better, and want to fight even harder, for the promotion, because I'm like, man, like, this is awesome. Like, I'm a part of something. I'm not just a separate entity, that's coming to make someone else money, and so it's a great feeling.
The shares are one side, and then you got the healthcare, the life insurance as well, which,
Hmm.
even in my time commentating and being part of the media outside of fighting, I could never picture it happening. I just didn't see a way that it would be possible. But Harrison Rogers has somehow found a way to make this work and to deliver exactly what he said he would at the start, which is this healthcare for fighters in and outside of camp.
Yes.
What difference has that made to you? And what the shares are one thing, but what does it mean, even with your family's reflection on what you're doing as a career, to be able to say to them, I'm covered?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot, man. When I first started fighting out, or fighting, it's like, you know, family does the research and it's like, well, you're not covered by insurance. You don't have insurance yourself, and you're going out and doing this and it's dangerous and there's not a high payout, there's not a high guarantee of success, all these things. And so yeah, man, it definitely adds another level of security, in this pursuit that we're already blessed to pursue. I'm blessed to be, an athlete and blessed to be a mixed martial artist. And so it just kind of adds sweetens that pie, of this pursuit, being able to be covered. And yeah, man, the shares and all, it all sweetens the pie for sure.
Um, you talked about the gym you're at as well, which is one of the most famous gyms in the world. Jackson
Hmm.
Wink. You look at the fighters you have on the mats day to day, the history it's got as part of mixed martial arts, right from the beginning to modern day.
Hmm.
What's it like? I mean, have anyone talked to you about what you're getting as far as the UFL when you're talking about shares in the company and life insurance? What's the talk on the mats regarding that?
Dude, man, like fighters, all the way, up into the UFC or Bellator, because we've got guys, in it all, man, one championship in all, and they all are like, man, like the UFL, that's awesome what they're doing. They all have respect for it and hope that it has major success and that it changes the standard for these other promotions because, all these guys, that are in the UFC, they're in the Bellator, these other organizations, it's like they're not receiving that type of care, and so they do recognize it and they're like, man, like it's an awesome thing what they're doing over there, and I see that in the gym. And so I think everyone is just, wishing the best for UFL, and that it will continue to rise, and that these other promotions will take notice and make the changes that UFL has made to take care of their athletes. So it's making waves for sure, definitely.
That's nice to hear. That is nice to
Hmm.
hear. Let's talk about those mats as well and training there.
Hmm.
What's that been like being on the mats there at Jackson Wink, and what has it added to your game being surrounded by the elite?
Yeah. Honestly, it's been amazing, as much hype as Jackson Wink has, being at the gym, it's felt almost like a family gym in a sense. Everybody's pretty really close, and everybody's willing to help and share information and help the team, rise and improve. So since I've been there, man, it's just been, everybody's been uh, sharing their knowledge, and so I've been able to learn a lot. And we always have people, traveling in from different countries, different styles, that come and add to our skill set. And so it's been amazing, man, to be able to work with so many different people and to learn so many different strategies and so many different approaches, to mixed martial arts. Um, and from there, you're able to, take from everyone's different styles and add to your own, what works for you best. And so that's been the best thing for me, is just all the different styles coming together, um and sharing and being able to help elevate each other's game. But it's amazing, man. It's pretty awesome to be on the mat and know that I'm a part of that next generation of fighters that's going to be high level and great waves.
Talking about creating waves, the next fight is the semi-final, or August 12th. This is going to be your announcement on the UFL stage. You're already
Mhm.
undefeated as a pro in other promotions, but some of the UFL fans may not have had the joy of watching some of your fights, and they are fantastic, my friend. I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
If for those who haven't seen you fight, what can they expect August 12th out of Lajuan Davis?
um they can expect high level martial arts, man. They can expect good technique, um, timing, patience, and yeah, man, they can expect the TKO as well, for sure.
Is that the prediction? You think you get the
That's the
TKO finish?
prediction.
Wow.
TKO. Yes, sir.
Wow. Are we going for,
Absolutely.
are we going to pick a round or are you just going to tease us with the TKO?
Let's say, man, it's hard to pick around. Let's say second round TKO.
Oh, let's
Yes, sir.
go.
Second
Let's
round.
go. It's
Yes,
so
sir.
exciting, my friend. And seriously, because I was excited to see you on the card last time, but
Hmm.
so disappointed. I saw you make the weight. I saw you go through everything. You were there with Kayla and everybody. And
Yes,
I know
sir.
you did what you had to do as a professional, but now you get to do what you love to do in the cage, which is on August 12th. And I'm excited to see it. So I'm looking forward to it, my man.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Thank you.